To another edition of Summa Social Elite, hosted by yours truly, Donna Newman of Summa Social. With the holidays around the corner, today's topic is, of course, 5 tips Santa can teach us about social media marketing. Every kid is asked, just how does Santa do it, Mom? Well, Santa, the big man himself, you know, is everywhere. And during the holiday season, he makes appearances in parades, shopping centers, and of course, your home. And you got to admit, man, that man has hustle. My son has gently reminded me this year that he no longer believes in Santa. And he said to me, "Oh, don't get me wrong, Mom." He told me a few days ago, "Santa is to be marveled, but he's not the master behind Christmas morning. I know the tips now, Mom." So to that end, here are 5 tips that I think that Santa can go ahead and really help us hone and teach us about social media marketing. And that's starting with the word Santa as an acronym. The first one is spotlight, because Santa focuses on just one thing. A is for available. Santa is easy to contact. N is for nurture, because Santa gives without expectations. The T in Santa is team. Santa fosters that great, magnanimous team spirit. And the A, the final A, is acceleration. And you got to admit that Santa definitely has a strong work ethic. Heading straight in, we look at S for spotlight, how Santa really focuses on just one thing. He reads his naughty and nice list. He doesn't take a second trip in February to give away Valentine's cards or in March to pass out Easter eggs. This takes self-control, as we all know as small business owners when we're spread so thinly, trying to micromanage everybody's expectations. But he just does one expectation. But, you know, there's a lot of lonely hearts at Valentine's Days and plenty who would love an extra chocolate egg for Easter. But he discriminates, and he does not let all those other distractions vie for his attention. He stays focused on Christmas. So Santa is a good model for us because he restrains himself and he really keeps the spotlight on Christmas. Cupid does Valentine's Day, Easter Bunny does Easter, and Santa Claus does Christmas. So that reminds me of a story when I was working early in my marketing career with an international heart surgeon. And so much of what Santa has recently taught me, I learned about 25 years ago. And that was every time we were about ready to launch a brand new marketing agenda, Dr. Dietrich would take my marketing team aside and he would literally say to us every time, "Donna, the main thing here is to keep the main thing the main thing." And the main thing for Dr. Dietrich was to make sure that we had patients coming in the door and that we service them with the highest of care. So as you're anticipating, how do you do, like I did early in my career, keeping the main thing? How do you stay as focused as Santa Claus? And that's where you'll just have to drill down into what is your main objective as you're wanting to fulfill your product and your service and your brand to your end consumers. And so often when we pull what our consumers love most about us, therein lies a consistent answer. A is for available. And Santa Claus is easy to contact. Santa gets more mail than anyone else on the planet. His address is simple. My kids have done this so often over the years at Santa Claus, North Pole. And of course, Mom takes that and tucks it in her purse for safekeeping for when she goes to the mall. And if you don't have a stamp, hey, that doesn't matter because your kids can drop the letter off at the nearest Macy's. And if that's not easy enough, you can always take your kids to visit him in person at any nearby shopping mall. So every year, thousands of children, they stand in line, they wait to sit on Santa's lap and tell them what they really want for Christmas. This personal attention, this personal connection is really what builds an emotional bond that lasts for generations. So the idea here is that the easier you are to reach, the greater your emotional connection will be with your clients and prospects. So here's the kicker. The stronger that connection is the more likely they will use, and they'll also share your product, your service with countless other people. So whenever you can offer any kind of resource, and some of you offer a free MLS search if you're a realtor, some of you offer a free ebook for the first chapter of your book if you're an author. Some of you, if you are a dentist, you offer maybe a free initial consultation. But no matter the kind of resource that you offer, always includes your full contact information on it. And honestly, here's 3 of the biggest reasons. First, leaving off your contact information makes you kind of look like you're a forgetful marketer and you're a bit of an amateur. Second, and this is a biggie, if someone downloads any resource from your website to read later, but you didn't list your contact info on it, then I promise you it's too easy for them to forget where the information was coming from. And since you worked so hard, this is one potential sale, potential lead that you don't want to miss out on. And then most importantly, number 3, many people take your resources to give out to friends. And this is that proverbial word of mouth, the holy grail of marketing. But again, if you don't have your contact information, then that new person just can't find you, which means that you've just lost another potential sale. So here on the right of Santa Claus peeking through the mailbox, some of the things that you definitely want to include would be your website and your blog URLs. You might obviously also want to have your contact information. Maybe that's a direct line to a cell phone number. Maybe that's to a service center. Maybe that is going to be a toll-free number. Email and marketing addresses, so often it's important. The obvious is the email. And sometimes it's important for us to have a street address on items that we have. Because if we don't, then too often people can't give you that foot traffic. And then finally, things to really think about, because since the majority of customers are going to the internet to first scout out for a product in your industry and then to really evaluate you, you definitely want to have your social media sites listed there. And you can say it with an icon, like me on Facebook, and then put your Facebook URL there or hyperlink it. Have the Twitter icon, and then also have the words follow me on Twitter hyperlink to your Twitter page. Join us on Pinterest, have that link to your Pinterest page. And these are just social platforms that more so are an opportunity for you to further the engagement. More than likely, they're not going to go to your website, but first to your social media platform because it's more fun. So definitely make sure that you take advantage of putting all of your contact information on there. Putting your logo on there is equally important. And sometimes even putting your headshot or a company photograph so that people have this immediate feel for looking in the whites of your eyes and kind of building that relationship. N is for nurture, because Santa Claus gives. Santa focuses on giving to everybody. One of the reasons why everyone loves Santa is he's so generous. He doesn't ask for anything in return for his gifts, although he personally accepts milk and cookies and certainly carrots for his reindeer. So take the nurture approach in your marketing and focus on what most interests your clients or your target audience about your brand, your product, and your service. And then remember, because people care about themselves more so than what they care about you and your stuff. So then you have to remember that your pitch needs to be something interesting and immediately goes to their pain point, their interest value, what's going to make their life more effective, more efficient, what's going to be more fun for them. And then you'll be giving your target audience exactly what will help them convert to buy your product. And also, though, you will be giving them bragging rights. Case in point is a client. She is an author, and she has realized pretty quickly, pretty astutely, that right when she started launching, and one of the things that gave her such a successful launch as an author is that she had an opportunity to give a lot of monologues. Now, she's written a book where there are 8 characters in there. So she goes ahead and she puts together 3-minute videos, and it's called Monologue Monday, whereby she reads about 2.5, 3 minutes from a specific passage, highlights on what the topic is of that passage, and she has a raving following already offline So it was a real natural for her to do this on Facebook. It syndicates to Twitter. She's got every video loaded up in YouTube as well as in Facebook. And then she's got an email campaign that lets all of her happiest of customers, of readers, know that she's just posted a brand new video. And this furthers her reach, but also begins to either kindle or nurture the audience in wanting to read more of her and hear her. She's got a very passionate, persuasive, peaceful voice, but knowing that her target audience was really appreciating that, she now has been pretty consistent. So zeroing in what your audience most values from you, and don't assume it. Actually go out and ask them, what do you like most? Why did you choose me? And those hashtags, those takeaways will be every bit what will help you better hone and nurture your prospective and your future audiences. And then the T is for team. And this is a valuable lesson I learned time and time again, is Santa fosters a great team. A great team doesn't just happen, and the leader does not need to be the sole influence of the team. You need to empower people so that if you as a leader were to step away, you'd have full confidence that every system was going to be executed. Well, you develop the system, you don't want to be a martyr. You don't want to be what's called a linchpin, because too often, if you walk away, then you have no chance of scalability and great function happening in your time away. You have to micromanage. So Santa does this exceptionally well, creating toys for the children of the world. Hey, he realized early on, it's not a one-man job. Neither is managing your business. To be successful, you really need a great, capable team. And think of them as your own small army of elves. Trying to go about your business alone is like trying to fly a sleigh without reindeer. It never worked for Santa, so it's certainly not going to work with you. And with a reliable team, you might find, and this is something that I found, that for the first time, you are running your business rather than letting your business run you. And I think the T in team is one of the most important lessons I've learned that Santa's taught me. The A, which is the final, A is for acceleration, because Santa has a very strong work ethic. And here, many small business owners, they get destination fever, thinking they will only be happy once their bottom line is padded or figures have been met. Well, Santa has a lot of work to do, but he keeps a positive attitude and he genuinely enjoys what he does. So when you can enjoy the journey of hustling and selling entailed in that social media marketing, then like Santa, you'll be jolly, but you'll be intentionally jolly, fully knowing what your goal is, what your main thing is, and you're just plotting one step at a time to achieve that end goal. So he persists, and nothing's harder than getting up in the morning and posting on your social media sites when you don't feel like doing it. So take a lesson from Santa, who delivers presents whether the weather's good or bad. And for Santa, remember when you were watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Snow Days means that he adds Rudolph and his nose so bright to the lineup of reindeer. So there is no calling in sick for Santa. He simply adjusts his life. So no one is disappointed on the Christmas morning. And successful small business owners are the same way. Professionals go about their small business marketing, whether they feel like it or not, and they know that tips have to be done and that tasks have to be done, and they have a daily checklist to achieve it. And let me give you an example. Another author that we've worked with is Chris Anderson. Now, Chris Anderson kind of wears two hats. She's been a very successful realtor for nearly 2 decades, has an incredible team, always ranks in the top 2% of RE/MAX, and also all Arizona realtors across the board. As well, she's very well networked inside of Canada. But she got this fantastic idea that, based upon her own experience, she wanted to write a book. And she wrote a book. We helped her launch it at the top of spring of this year. And what we came upon at the very end of the daily management was you needed to have a daily checklist in order to maintain that work ethic and to accelerate at a pace that's going to be manageable. So for her, whether she feels like it or not, and she's pretty prolific, probably more than most people, but whether she feels like it or not, she's got this daily checklist. And she knows that every day she's going to write a blog. And it's often 7 days a week, but evaluate it for you. Maybe a daily blog isn't important, but maybe it's once or twice a week. And if that's what you design, then stick to it and don't give yourself any excuses. So hers, a little ambitious, but exceptionally doable if you scale it back to fit your lifestyle and what your target audience wants, is also a daily Facebook and a Twitter post. Then she does a video monologue. Just like Carol Cook, she does it in her own little way, her own personality, and she goes ahead and does it once a week. And then she does 1 to 2 book signings at local events within Arizona, but then she also travels to California and does it there too, because she's realized she's got quite a captive audience in Southern California around San Diego and Los Angeles. So understanding what your target audience is, keeping that main thing, and having a team to be able to help you implement that allows you to consistently, methodically accelerate and to maintain that strong work ethic. And once you have your daily system, then there's no freelancing. It's a matter of just executing and checking things off so you can be very efficient. So I think all of us small business owners can really learn a lesson or two from the big man in red. And even Forbes magazine, last week I read a featured article that said Santa Claus is the best CEO ever. And I have to agree with them. So for the balance of 2012 and to really just kind of jumpstart your 2013 social media marketing efforts, think like Santa. And that's where you're going to use the acronym. S is for spotlight, A is for available, and then you have N for nurture, T is for team, and A is for accelerate. So when you spotlight and focus on one thing, when you are available and you're not waiting for clients to come to you, but you go to them through easy connections and you nurture them and engage them, hitting them and meeting their pain points, you easily convert them. And then when you have a team that you've empowered because you've put up simple systems for them to follow, you can step away and your business will still accelerate. So now you can approach your marketing just like Santa. So now it's your turn. I'm going to actually come back over here and look in the question. And let's see. I have a Facebook post idea up to Christmas, 5 days from now. It spells Santa. Oh, 5 letters. Oh, that's cool. That's from Shauna. And she's one of our international fans. So that's pretty cool, Shauna. I like that idea. 5 days out and you spell Santa. And every single day you have an S or an A, and that's clever and that's fun. Let me see if there's any other questions. I guess there's not. But anyway, think of all of this and approach now this whole marketing end of year with Santa. Spotlight, available, nurture, team, and accelerate. Guys, gals, if you have any questions later on, just come on over to the Facebook page inside of Facebook. That's facebook.com/Summa Social, Summa with 2 M's. Or just type in the search box within Facebook as in Summa Social and then just post it on the wall. Or ring me up at the office. That's 480-314-4101. And again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And know that we're going to be taking 2 weeks off, so we will see you on the first Thursday of the full business week of 2013. Thanks so much. Bye.